Hey students, let me know how is my voice. Everyone can hear me? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, students. So we are in the last unit. So we have covered all these units, and seeing the present schedule, I don't think we will find times for a revision of syllabus. And even this could be our last class on social problem. So in the last unit, that is unit 5, vulnerable groups, we have a few topics which we have to cover today. uh, First one is this constitutional categories. Under that, SC, ST, OBC, and denotified communities. Many of you might have heard these terms already. Then there are minority groups, reservation policy for the development of society and economically disabled groups, LGBT, women, children, elders, tribes. So these are the topics. So all will come under the vulnerable group. So what is vulnerable? This is the very first thing which we should understand. So we will look at the synonyms here. You can see susceptible, weak, defenseless, helpless, exposed. So all of these words explain what is vulnerable. Vulnerable is someone who is exposed to the danger of society, or someone, if we say someone is vulnerable, that person is not able to defend for herself or himself. A person who is helpless, and due to these states, that person is more exposed to dangers in the society. So these are the people who are not having substantial power or meaningful influence in the society. And as a result of that, they are kept aside, or we can say marginalized. So they are called vulnerable groups. So vulnerable groups are everywhere in a country like India. When you look around, you can see a lot of people who are in this category. If you go to the street, you can see a lot of people. They live in the street. They do not have actual home. These people live in the street as a result of the way of living or their socio-economic status. Uh, they could become the victims of a crime at any time. At night, they don't have a protective wall around them. They will be most often they will be sleeping in the streets, beside the roads, in front of the shops or something like that. So these people, they will not have much money with them for their food, and mostly they will have only what they will only be worried about the next meal, where it is going to come from. So in the society, you can find a lot of vulnerable groups, and so this unit is about them and what's why they are a social problem, because they are vulnerable, and what the society is doing about them. This is a slide which I found online, which will be helpful for you to understand some of the policies of the government, and also to understand uh, the basic things about these groups. And before that, what I will do, I will give you explanations of each and every group. For example, there are scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Okay, so this is a Wikipedia page on scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in India. Uh, so the percentage of population um, who are considered scheduled caste, and their presence in India is given here. See in this, when it is coming to the this place, 30 to 32 percentage of the total population are belonging to the scheduled caste, and the number of scheduled caste people are very less or non-existent in these white areas. And as you can see, Tamil Nadu has at least 20 to 25 percentage of people who are belonging to scheduled caste. In Kerala, there are even less people, maybe like 5 to 10 percentage of the people are in the scheduled caste. So this picture gave some idea about the concentration of scheduled caste. So first question is like, why do we call these people scheduled caste or scheduled tribe? So that is the most important question. All of you should know. And these are people who were kept aside in society for very long time. When I say very long time, I mean centuries. So for many centuries, because of the profession their forefathers were involved in, or because of their status in society, uh, the caste system in India kept aside these people. So, because of things which are not original, because of reasons which are not real, these people were kept aside. And as a result of that, these communities were not able to develop when majority of the other communities were developing financially, developing in terms of education, in terms of culture. So when other people were able to develop, when a country progress, people develop. Uh, their financial backgrounds will develop when the economy of the country grows. So there is a lot of difference between people who are living in India right now and people who were living in India 50 years before or 100 years before. There are a lot of difference. If you even go back a small time such as 20 years back, uh, many of the houses will not have electricity. Okay, even in the cities, many of the houses will not have electricity, and owning a bicycle itself is a major thing, let alone scooters or two wheelers. Uh, and then if you go back like 25 years, there won't be gas stoves in the houses. Most of the people will be using wood, uh, or burning charcoal for cooking. And transportation, like 30 years go back, most of the people will be depending upon the government transportation like trains or buses, and only the richest people, only very few people will have vehicles in their houses. But see that the differences took place in the society in a small time period, that is 30 years. So think about 100 years, 200 years, and what would be the status of the people living then? And most of these technologies which we have were non-existent. At the same time, even if the technologies were there, people will not be able to afford it because they don't have meaningful income to afford all these. And scheduled caste and scheduled tribes are those people who were left out of the development because of the society's superfluous belief, society's non-original treatment of people in the society. And as a result of that, these people were left out in the development, and they were kept aside. And these people, at one point of time, the government decided that we have to improve these people because these people are not developed. Certain communities which are considered as per the caste system, that they are somehow they are lower than the other superior caste, and because of these differences, these people were not given enough opportunity to improve. The society will force them to continue in a particular occupation, even if that occupation is not uh, fulfilling their needs, or it doesn't provide enough income to them. And because of their caste status, these people were forced by the society or the superior caste members to stay in a particular profession. And because also because of their caste status, their children were denied education. And because of these kind of activities are continued, these people are ill developed, that means not developed. So the government had numerous plans to develop these people. And scheduled caste, that is scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and another one is other backward communities. These are all list. These are nothing but list created by the government uh, to recognize these uh, victimization of certain communities for a very long period of time. And what is the relevance of those lists? Why that list is important? That is because only if a list of such communities are available, the government can engage in measures to improve their living conditions. So now there are reservation policies for people who are belonging to a particular community, and this is given in account of many years of uh, many years of discrimination against people of that particular community. People of that particular community were denied a particular job for a very long period of time, and as a result of that, that entire community is very poor now. And so we should give a fair opportunity for those people to improve in their life. And that is why the need of such kind of list. So in this list gives the names of those communities which were discriminated for a very long time. And there are scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. The difference between scheduled caste and scheduled tribes is also um, uh, very delicate. That means like scheduled tribes are those people. It will be referring to a smaller group. Scheduled caste could be uh, more scattered in the general population, whereas scheduled tribes are those people. They will be very difficult to reach out to them. They will be they will be very less in numbers compared to scheduled caste, and they most often they live in a particular place, most often non-developed places. So again, there are scheduled tribes, which are even a smaller group compared to scheduled caste, and at least in some a small percentage of scheduled caste people are were able to develop. But scheduled tribes, when it is coming to scheduled tribes, it is the conditions, the present conditions are worse. And then so this is a Wikipedia page which gives a lot of details about scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So now that you understood what is scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, then there is uh, another group which is written in your syllabus. These are denotified communities, denotified caste, and denotified tribes. So denotify means notify that they are not part of a group. So when the term de-notify means like first it is notified, and after that the government is again informing that they are not part of a particular group. So there are de-notified tribes in India, and these tribes are group of people belonging to a particular community, and there were some kind of legal discrimination against even those people. Why legal discrimination? Because there are certain kind of communities which even the government at one point of time discriminated. They stated almost all people in those communities are offenders. Almost all members of a particular community are used to commit robbery or used to commit such kind of crimes. So most of the profession of members of a particular community are illegal. So there were certain kind of laws, such as the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871, and then so this is one act. Uh, Various pieces of legislation in India during British rule, since the 1870s were collectively called the Criminal Tribes Act. They criminalized entire communities by designating them as habitual criminals. Under these acts, ethnic or social communities in India, which were defined as okay, uh, that means like there are certain kind of small communities which were defined as offenders just because of someone's relationship to that particular community. So there are like very difficult to follow provisions in these rules. It's like if someone is belonging to a particular community which is denotified as a criminal tribe, they will have to do certain things. They have to come and register with the local magistrate, failing which they would be charged with a crime under the Indian Penal Code. So there are even uh, tribes. There are even legal discriminations against people like that, but somehow these discriminations were changed, and many of these acts um, were repealed. That means repealed or annulled. That means those acts doesn't exist right now because of the development of the society to a more non-discriminative society. So you can see that some of the criminal tribes acts were repealed with habitual offenders act. That means studying a person's history, if he is involving in crimes, and then making a decision rather than not connecting it with someone's caste and deciding that he is an offender. So denotified tribes are those people who are belonging to such kind of tribes, and uh, because the government stated that they are no more part of these kind of they will not be considered under these kind of acts, they are called denotified tribes. So when there is already a legal addressing of a community, and again the government segregate or divide those people from a particular community, that is called denotified tribe or denotified caste. Again, there are people who were part of the scheduled caste, and at one point of time, government decided to segregate them because even compared to the majority of the scheduled caste people, these people are not as developed as them. These people are even harder to reach, and they have some kind of divide between the other people, differences between the other people. These people are called denotified caste or denotified communities. So now we will go back to this slide which I showed you in the beginning, which is policies and programs of government to improve educational opportunities for disadvantaged groups. So that is not the exact topic which I want to share with you, but some informations which will be useful for you. Who are disadvantaged Indian context, missions and recommendations, government policies and programs. Okay. See, groups who are disadvantaged. So this can be taken as who is a vulnerable group in society. Groups within a society that is marginalized and has reduced access to resources and services such as education, health, credit, and power. So these are everything. One is education, one is health, one is credit. Credit means you go to a bank, you get a loan. With that loan, you can start a business or do whatever it is. And with that, with whatever you are doing, you can improve your life again. So that is credit. So credit plays a very important role in modern economy. Without credit, not so much of businesses can thrive in the modern economy. So then power means influence, connections with important people. So groups within a society that is marginalized and has marginalized means set aside. They are not in the forefront. They are not considered for development, and this act is called marginalizing. So these people are set aside from the development of the country, has reduced access to resources and services such as education, health, credit, and power. Socio-economically disadvantaged are those who are on low income, who struggle to supply themselves and their family with food, clothing, and shelter. So these people are those who struggle to provide even the very basic needs, which we are all taking for granted. We don't care about food, clothing, and shelter because we already have it, and we don't have to work hard for it because we are not in the disadvantaged groups. But socio-economically disadvantaged groups are those people are struggling even to get what are the very basic things which are needed for existence in society. Then education is the most important lever for social, economic, and political transformation. Education also acts as an integrative force in society, imparting values that foster social cohesion and national identity. That is why there are so much of grants provided for education. Now, most of the governmental institutions, even some private institutions, are required by the law of the country to provide uh, grants to the students or concessions for the students who are belonging to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other communities. In common parlance, the following are considered disadvantaged sections: scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, other backward classes. So, other backward classes are a little bit better than scheduled tribes, and scheduled tribes, then again, they are worse than the majority of the people in their conditions are worse than the majority of the people in the country. Then women and girls. Women and girls, because girls are less likely to get education in India. Um, women are most women, even those women who are working, they earn less salary compared to men. So these people, and then children with special needs, minorities, and other minorities, which we will learn in our syllabus. So these are the socially disadvantaged groups include the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, and the minorities. According to 1991 census, Supreme Court's account for 138.23 million ST, this is scheduled caste where account for 138.23 million, scheduled tribes 67.70. So these are the figures. Okay, this again will give you a lot of ideas about scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. I will be sharing it with you in the Google Classroom. Now we will go back to the syllabus and see some more items which are need to be covered in this class, which are socially. This is socially and economically disabled groups. Uh, and economically disabled groups. They are LGBT. What is an LGBT? Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgenders. So these are people with different sexual orientations, and because of their differences in sexual orientations, these people are denied so many things in society, denied so many rights in society, and these people are called LGBT. All put together, we call them LGBT: lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgenders. Then women, children, elders, older people, then tribes. So all these people are again similarly experience all the problems which SC/ST people are facing, and their problems sometimes would be different. For example, a person belongs to LGBT, it is very difficult to even rent a house, and they will not get meaningful jobs in society because of their sexual orientation. Nobody will give them jobs. Even many government jobs, they are still not able to get it. And now the laws are changing slowly. Uh, there are some opportunities for LGBT people, but only very minimal. And because even if they get a job, because of the treatment of other people's, they are not able to continue in that job. So that is the situation. So all these people are considered as vulnerable groups in society. And why these people are considered as a social problem? Because when society progress, when a nation progress, if the development is not there for all the people in it, it won't look good. So there will be a lot of people left out of the development, and that creates a problem. So development should be equal. Everyone should be developed equally, and that is why vulnerable groups are considered as the social problems, and they will have to develop, and they should be given fair opportunities by the government institutions. I will send you certain notes also in on the other groups like LGBT. Okay. If you have any doubts, please write in the comment section. I will get back to you. Do write in the comment section if you have any comments or any questions. Okay, all I can see is numbers, your roll numbers, names. Is it clear? All of you understood the class? Okay, Nakulam, thank you. Any doubts you can write in the comment section, otherwise we will close the class. Srimati, thank you. Yes, Jiva. You will get a notification regarding the semester exam starting, and about fee payment also. You have to contact your class in charge. Yes, yes, Jivan. I said like for fee payment, you contact your class in charge if you have any doubts. Okay, so I assume there are no doubts regarding the subject matter. In case if I get a chance again, we will conduct another class. You should have a recap of all the units we covered before you go for the examination. If I get another day of class, surely I will. We will go through all the syllabus. Okay. If not, all the classes are recorded. You go through the classes, watch it again before the examination, and also go through the materials which I shared with you. So today I will send you certain notes regarding today's class. Okay, guys, then all of you take care and see you next week probably. Take care, all of you. Bye.